Little known fact, Pittsburgh, my father-in-law, for a time, was a practicing magician, which is maybe one small reason why I think I have a little bit of a soft spot for the sleight of hand. Liberty Magic is Pittsburgh's premier speakeasy theater, and they've got a pretty cool act in town right now. Rob Zabrecki's The Zabrecki Hour features comedy, storytelling, and, of course, magic. But like the curious kind that may leave you thinking long after you have left downtown. Get your tickets for this unique show, The Zabrecki Hour, at trustarts.org/magic.
Today on CityCast Pittsburgh, we are weeks into summer, so if you've been waiting to catch that Buccos game or get a sundae from Page's Dairy Mart, now is the time. There are so many great summer activities in the city, and if you need inspiration, we've got some ideas from listeners and Hey Pittsburgh newsletter readers to help you put together the perfect summer bucket list. It's Monday, July 8th. I'm Mallory Falk, and here's what Pittsburgh's talking about.
Yes, we have been bringing you all the ways you can get out and enjoy the city this summer. Last week, we did our guide to Pittsburgh in July, and we've talked about how to get out on the rivers. But we also want to know what you, all of our listeners, are pumped to do this season.
Yeah, we've been putting out calls on the podcast and in the Hey Pittsburgh newsletter to find out what is on your summer bucket lists. And it has been so fun reading the responses as they have come in.
Oh, totally. Mallory, do you usually make a summer bucket list, or was that something you ever did as a kid?
To be honest, bucket lists feel like something for type A personalities, which is not me.
Fair.
I do them informally, like I know which spots I want to hit up in the summer and what activities I want to do, but I don't necessarily have a formal one, though I guess for the sake of this episode, I need to make one. What about you?
Oh, of course I made summer bucket list when I was a kid. I don't think that sounds surprising.
Not at all.
I don't formally do it now, but maybe I should too. I've been to a couple music festivals. I've been to Kennywood twice so far, and I've just generally been going to the pool and then getting ice cream after. So I feel like I have been doing all the summer things, and I would like to see them crossed off so I can feel accomplished.
Write them down in a colorful font.
I think so. Do like a little mood board thing, like a little PowerPoint at the end. Here's my summer.
Okay, so this is our summer homework assignment, even though those words don't belong in the same sentence. I think the first item on my own personal summer bucket list should be the pool. I've been out of town a bunch. I had family visiting. So shamefully, it is July and I have not made it to the pool yet. But I should finally be able to knock that one off this weekend.
Yay.
And I know a lot of you out there also have swimming on your bucket lists. Hey Pittsburgh reader Carolyn M. will be spending afternoons at the North Park pool. And Stacy R. will also be bopping around the pools and ice cream shops. Stacy wants to do a whole tour.
Ooh, Stacy, let us know what your preferred pools and ice cream stores are. I usually do Bloomfield Beach because that's right by me, and then follow it up with Twister's on the way home.
Classic pairing.
Thank you. I am really feeling like a Pittsburgher now. I know you're usually going to the Highland Park pool, Mallory. Are there any good ice cream stores around there?
So there are actually snack trucks at the pool. When I went last summer, I mostly remember hot dogs and cotton candy, which, whatever.
Cotton candy's good. Disagree.
On like a hot day, I don't know, it just is so sticky.
Then you go to the pool and wash it off. Well, maybe wash your hands before you go in the water, but
I mean, I guess there's already so much swirling around these public pools. What's a little cotton candy? But no, my go-to is to swing by La Scola's on the way home from the Highland Park pool. I think I've recommended this spot on the show before. It's right off Bryant Street. It has incredible custard. My go-to is lemon olive oil. And it's like a nice little stand with it. You can see and be seen in the line.
Oh, that's really fun. Well, one more person heading to the pools this summer is Alex W.
This summer, I want to go to the city pools as many times as possible, go to the zoo, and go to Veg Fest.
Ooh, yes. Veg Fest is a classic bucket list item. Does anything say summer in Pittsburgh like a vegan chicken patty? I mean, the answer is probably yes. But anyway, it's a great event. And Veg Fest is at Allegheny Commons Park this year on Saturday, August 10th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Absolutely a must go, even if you're not vegan. It is already on my personal calendar. If you're looking for more food options, Emma Kay wrote in about going to the Bloomfield Farmers Market and said it's extra fun if you walk or bike. This is also my favorite farmers market in the city, mostly because it's close to me. If you're going for the first time, get El Colibri. They have gorditas, birria tacos, and all of their horchata and agua fresca is amazing for the heat. So refreshing.
Yes, and agua fresca is perfect on a hot Pittsburgh summer day. A favorite summertime tradition of mine definitely is biking to the Bloomfield Market. I like to pick up some bread and cheese and then head home and have a nice little spread on my back patio. And speaking of biking, Callan L. told us that he's looking forward to going to Open Streets, that event organized by Bike Pittsburgh, where streets in certain corners of the city are temporarily closed to cars so that everyone else can enjoy them.
My summer bucket list is going to more of the open streets. I was only able to go to one last year, so I'm hoping to go to at least two this summer. It's really cool to see the city streets open up to pedestrians and bicyclists and to see the each neighborhood come alive.
You've probably heard us talk about Open Streets a bunch on the show. The CityCast team has had a table there in the past and will be there again this month on Saturday, July 27th when it's in the East End. Woo-hoo. So if you want to meet the crew behind the pod, you should put that on your summer bucket list.
Yes, please come say hi to us. And speaking of Open Streets, a lot of y'all shared what you want to be doing this summer on mic back at the first Open Streets in May. I am devastated to say that our recorder malfunctioned. Gotta love technology in the rain. So we lost all of your names. I am so sorry, but it was still great to meet you, talk with you all, and you shared some really cool ideas. One person's trying to visit every neighborhood in Pittsburgh.
That is advanced level bucket listing. I feel like a way to make it even more of a summer challenge would be to try maybe an ice cream shop or just grab a cold treat in every neighborhood in Pittsburgh.
I would be grabbing a coffee treat.
Frozen coffee, make it seasonal.
Okay, fair enough. And unsurprisingly, a lot of people who are at Open Streets also want to be on their bikes more and get outside. I also spoke with a bunch of kids who were very excited to be done with school and want to play video games.
Sounds like you and those kids would get along, Sophia.
Maybe, but I'm also not going easy on anyone when I'm playing Mario Kart. Maybe the kids would trounce me. I don't know.
Okay, children, you've been warned or challenged. But if biking isn't your thing, there are still plenty of ways to be outside and get that time in the sun without breaking a sweat. Adam D. wants to go to Reservoir of Jazz concerts in Highland Park. Those are always a great time because who doesn't love stretching out on a picnic blanket in a public park and listening to some free live music? One of my favorite summer activities.
Ooh, yeah, sounds fun. What's the schedule for this summer?
So those concerts in Highland Park are every Sunday in August from 5 to 7. But the city puts on free concert series all over the city. So depending on, what kind of music you like, what kind of vibe you're going for, which park is most convenient to you, you have got options.
Is there a rave in the park? I would love to go to a rave park event. I'm guessing no, but I want loud DJs, something at night, like strobe lights. Probably not, but someone put it out there.
That might exist. I don't think it's one that the city of Pittsburgh is sponsoring. So, Sophia, this first one is really on the other end of that, which is on Sunday mornings, you can pack brunch and listen to classical music at Mellon Park in the East End.
Still sounds fun. I like classical music. I like all music, but I want to dance.
Yeah, I've been to this one. This is more like have a nice bagel spread and, read the morning paper while you listen to some Bach. On Saturday nights, you could head to Grandview Park on Mount Washington for some live rock and local brews, as they put it. They've got a rotating selection of local ales, ciders, and wines. Nice. And then if you go to Riverview Park in Observatory Hill, you can catch live music and a free movie.
Ooh, double feature.
This is a lot to keep track of, I know, so we will drop a link with dates and times for all of these series in our show notes.
Want to know one of my favorite sounds? Here it is. That's the sound I hear when I'm learning Spanish with Babbel. And if you want to learn a new language this year, I guarantee it'll be one of your favorite sounds too. I'm David Plotz. I'm the CEO of CityCast, and I've been doing Babbel for a few weeks, and it's been so much fun. This week, I've been learning lots of food vocabulary and how to order in a restaurant. This is one of the things I love about Babbel, is that it's about learning the language so that you can use it. As Babbel says, it's designed by real people for real conversation. So it's all based on real life situations. And these restaurant lessons are awesome. When I went to Mexico City last year with my girlfriend, I was mute. I was a mute. But next time, I'm going to be ordering the sopes and las salsas picantes. Babbel has over 16 million subscriptions sold, plus all of Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. Here's a special limited-time deal for CityCast listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, but only for CityCast listeners at babbel.com/CityCast. Get up to 60% off at babbel.com/CityCast. Spelled BABBEL.com/CityCast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Okay, Mallory, what other outside without a sweat activities did other people share, besides sitting on a blanket or lawn chair and listening to music?
Michelle M. wants to go on a tiki boat ride. I know we've recommended that on the pod before. Mm-hmm. And then E. Amoroso is planning to watch some movies in the park. Allegheny County has a few screenings in the park. The next one scheduled is July 11th at the Boathouse Lawn in North Park. And the movie is going to be Little Mermaid. It's totally free, starts at 7 p.m. But the movie itself won't start until it's dark out, like around 9-ish.
That makes sense. Doesn't the city also host movie night?
Yes, they do. Cinema in the park. Remember earlier I said if you go for the free music at Riverview Park, you can also catch a movie?
Yes, the double feature thing.
Yes, exactly. So that's because the concert series is the same night as Cinema in the Park.
Oh,
and
cool.
All told, you've got more than 50 chances to see a free movie this summer. Next Pittsburgh's got a great article breaking down all the dates, the movies, and where to watch, so we will put that link in the show notes. Fair warning, these do tend to be pretty kid-friendly movies. Think Toy Story and Wonka. I was excited to see there were some real throwbacks on the list, like The Sandlot and Ferngully. Sophia, as our Gen Z correspondent, are you familiar with these films? I know these are before your time.
I've heard the names, but I've never watched them. But I also don't have the attention span for movies. So I also just haven't watched movies that are, released in theaters a couple years ago.
Okay, so no Cinema in the Park for Sophia. But what else have you got for us?
Well, still kind of movie related. Diane S.'s bucket list includes going to the Carnegie Science Center for the Pixar exhibition. So this exhibit's all inspired by different Pixar movies, and it's super interactive. So you can do things like make a stop motion video with the classic Pixar lamp or poke around a replica set of A Bug's Life.
Okay, this sounds more your speed. Have you been to this, Sophia?
I want to, but no. So the Science Center is still the only one of the 4 big Carnegie museums I haven't been to. So I guess this is what I'm putting on my bucket list. The Pixar exhibition requires a separate ticket, though. So I just keep going back to the art museum since that's free with my membership. But this exhibit's sticking around until January 2025. So I think this is a good fall or early winter activity.
I mean, I think museums are a great place to be in the summer when it's really hot and you need a big old blast of AC, but I respect going any time of year.
Yeah, I also feel like science centers are always overrun by kids' camps, and that takes me back to when I was a counselor at one and lost kids in the science museum. So scary.
Oh, no, Sophia, I'm assuming it all ended well, but I'm stressed out.
It was totally fine. They were 4th graders who just decided to run in 5 different directions, and I had to round them all up.
Okay, Sophia, I am not trying to make you relive past trauma this summer. That is not what summertime vibes are about.
It wasn't that big of a deal, just a very small minute of panic. But anyway, Diane S. gave us another recommendation, visiting Steel Goat Marketplace off of Rodi Road. It's this very kitschy shop with a bunch of local vendors. I'm realizing that describes a lot of places. I haven't been, but they're supposed to be goats outside, not real ones. I would have been if there were real ones.
I've never been either, but I know there are lots of local artists with work there. So I'm going to have to put this on my own bucket list. Thanks for the suggestion, Diane S. Their website also lists a bunch of different events they're hosting throughout the summer, like Sip and Stencil, flea markets, and a Stitch and Bitch night. So there is plenty to do there.
Ooh, crafts. Okay, that reminds me, maybe this isn't like a summer bucket list item, but something I want to do, need to do, is paint this bookshelf. I built this with Workshop PGH way back in like January, but I had been putting off painting it until I could do it outside, and it has been warm for ages now.
Ooh, yeah, this is the time for those painting projects when you don't want to inhale the fumes in your own home and you also don't want to splatter paint all over your own home.
Right.
Sophia, I support this. I know up top you mentioned Kennywood, but I do want to double tap that since amusement parks feel very classically summer. But of course, Kennywood is not the only option in our region. Ezra M. really wants to go to Cedar Point, which is technically in Ohio. But if you're really upset that the Steel Curtain is still closed this summer, maybe there is a roller coaster at Cedar Point that you'll enjoy instead. And if you've got a road trip on your summer bucket list, this is a way to check that off. Special shout out to Ezra. At 10 years old, he is our youngest bucket list contributor.
Oh, fun. And I will definitely take this into consideration too. I love big roller coasters, and Kennywood's coaster offerings are just fine. I really like Kennywood, but I also need a giant drop at some point. The closest I've found to that is kind of like, honestly, the swing shot.
Okay, I'm not a fan of the swing shot, but also, I don't think Kennywood is trying to be the destination for thrill seekers who want these giant drops. What makes it so special are the old-timey wooden coasters. I think it's good for nostalgia more than thrills. But anyway, if roller coasters and amusement parks are not your thing, Ezra has a few more items on his bucket list that I really appreciate, even if they are not classic Pittsburgh activities.
My bucket list is, I want to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and look at their clothes. And I also want to go to the bike shop and look what stickers they have and bikes.
I think there's just something to be said for doing some casual browsing on a lazy summer day. So Ezra, you have inspired me to get a sticker for my bike.
I do not need any more encouragement to go shopping. So this one speaks to me, but maybe it's not for me right now. But I'll bring it back to more Pittsburgh exclusive bucket list ideas. I have some tape from Chris Vasquez. He's been on the podcast before to talk about Governor Shapiro's TikToks because he's an audience engagement journalist. But here's what Chris wants to do when he's not making TikToks about the news.
This is my last summer in Pittsburgh, and so I feel like I want to really take advantage of Pittsburgh's unique access to nature within the city. I feel like there have to be a bunch of trails in Frick Park that I haven't gone down yet that I really want to explore, and I've still never been to the aviary, so those are two of my big ones.
Well, we will miss you, Chris. But yes, Pittsburgh has some incredible trails right in the city. When I was growing up here, I don't think I realized how special this is. I kind of just thought it was standard for every city to have these incredible portals into nature just right off major streets.
Nope.
Those trails in Frick are so great on hot summer days when you need some shade because you step in and you're just surrounded by trees.
Yes, absolutely. Check for ticks after.
Yes, most critically.
But I want to end with one more bucket list item. This is from friend of the pod and local author Virginia Montanez. She had an amazing bucket list idea. We were chatting yesterday and she said her bucket list maybe not doable, but very aspirational. She wants to run as one of the pierogies.
Ooh.
I didn't know that was an option. I thought we had to be realistic about this.
Yeah, I was not dreaming big enough. Did Virginia tell you which one in particular?
I don't know this pierogi's name, but Virginia said she wanted to be the one with the handbag so she could slap other
jalapeno
pierogies.
Hannah.
Okay. Now I feel silly because jalapeno Hannah is, everyone's favorite.
So she wanted to slap the other contenders with the purse?
I guess that's a good strategy if you're running with other people who are used to it. Just slap them first and then speed ahead.
Okay, so her summer bucket list includes violence. Got it. If you know how to help Virginia achieve that dream, please let us know. We are actually seeking all of your hacks for having the perfect experience at a Pirates game.
Yes, thank you so much to everyone who called in for this episode. If you're excited about hearing your voice on air, please call us, leave us a voicemail at 412-212-8893. Tell us what you love to do at PNC Park, what you love to eat. And if you do still want to share tips but don't want to leave a message, you could also email us. We're pittsburgh@citycast.fm.
Yes, hopefully this episode is proof that we are always listening, always reading, and we would love to include your voice and your baseball hacks on our show. That's all for today here on CityCast Pittsburgh. If you enjoyed the show, you should tell a friend, rate us, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Pittsburgh newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Talk to you then. I love this violent summer dream.